welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchie D, and today is Project Catasetum Day. I'm going to start the process of repotting these guys to prepare for spring, but we're going to have a quick look at them. And I must say that I am still learning about catasetums, so I started growing them probably around March last year, so before last winter is when I got a lot of them and they were starting to go into dormancy. So I did very poorly with my seedlings. In fact, pretty much all my seedlings are dead, and a couple of others didn't fare so well. The bigger ones are a lot more resilient, but the major issues I had with them last year were firstly spider mites. So catasetums seem to be spider mites' favourite choice of food, and because of their rate of growth, it's just really hard to control it with topical treatments. So I am looking for systemic miticides, and I think I found one on eBay which I've ordered and should get. They did grow well. You can see the size difference between this bulb. This bulb looks good, this bulb isn't too bad, but there was, I guess, a day where I didn't catch the sun and there was severe sunburn that came across quite a number of the plants in my collection, and I think it was really because of the spider mite damage on the leaves that some of them fared really badly with that sunburn damage. And so this plant in particular, I'll link you to a video, but it had a new bulb which was very fat and did really well. However, I lost it due to the sunburn, and you can see that there was some damage on this bulb as well, but it's pulled through and you can see it's chucking out its new little growth for the season there. So I'll pop that one up. But yeah, this year I wanted to try a couple of things. So I did find that a couple of them did really well in like a good quality sphagnum and perlite mix. So you can see this one did well. However, this, I started watering after the roots were touching the bottom of the pot and it didn't like it. I didn't have any other major issues with coming out of dormancy. It was just this little one, and I changed it to a mix with a bit more bark and a little bit more airy, and it was really fine with that. So yeah, it was really the sunburn that did it in. This little one down here is not doing so great. So this is my Cycnodes one Delight. I forced these guys into dormancy this year because I had to go on my honeymoon. So basically I just put them in a corner and stopped watering them all. And this one here, you can actually see that it's a bit soft, this bulb, and I ended up finding some mealybugs that were just hanging out in that root ball there. So I've had to clean them out a number of times, and I've finally gotten rid of all of them about maybe a month ago or so. But yeah, it's not the most sturdy bulb. So I'm really hoping that it will grow a new bulb from this, and once a new root system starts taking off, it'll be fine. But yeah, it's not in a good condition. It took me quite a long time to find the Cycnodes one Delight, so I really do hope it does okay. I have decided I am going to repot all of them. If the root systems are fairly established already, I will probably just pop them on. However, with a few of them I am planning to try the PET method. I've got these containers here that I bought from Bunnings, so they don't have any holes at the bottom, but I've put 2 holes there. So basically the premise is that you fill the bottom reservoir with an inorganic media of some type, and you have a middle layer, I guess, of a fairly airy mix like large bark or whatever, or probably even leca would work, and the top layer is sphagnum. And I got this idea off Stephen Van Camp and Lewis's site, and he puts a very dense layer of sphagnum with some slow release fertilizer in there, and his plants seem to be doing quite well. We have very hot summers here, and the plants are always extremely thirsty, so I think a little reservoir system would work quite well. I'm not going to try it on all of them. These are quite big pots, as you can see, so let's have a quick look at them. So you've seen these guys already. I'll link you to the video, but I got them in a recent haul. So these are the ones in these red pots. And this one is not quite in full dormancy. You can see it's lost the bottom leaves, and it's just these top ones that are remaining. I mean, they look pretty healthy, so I'm probably just going to leave them, but I can't see any new growths at the moment. Whereas all these guys have new growths that are beginning. This one too, you can see that little growth is developing nicely. These are the ones that were existing. So the Cloecia I'm not going to touch because you see that, and also just down there, and also just in there's some stuff happening, and I'm not fully convinced that they're growths. I'm actually a little bit hopeful for them to be flower spikes, at least this one. The growths I've seen have started developing little root nubbins very early, and this just seems a little bit more rounded at the tip. It doesn't seem like it's going to leaf out. And Cloecias do flower in winter, apparently. So yeah, so this is Cloecia Grace done. I'm not going to disturb this one just yet. I want to see what happens to it. But yeah, I haven't watered it since the beginning of May, so I'm very interested to see what it'll do. These are my other survivors. So I found that my species Catasetums did really well. So it does help that they flower on immature growths, so at least you get like some flowers early on before you have time to stuff things up. But this guy, look at those roots. It also developed these little fine roots that sort of stick up into the air, and I think they do that in nature to create a little bit of a nest so they can catch leaves and other nutrients. But that's a nice impressive bulb there. I can't see any new growths coming out of this one. This little one's lost its back bulb, so I probably need to take that out and chop this back one off. It's still got some leaves, which I'm probably going to cut off because they've actually got a bit of spider mite damage. There's no active spider mites on there, but you can see that damage is still there, and it's slowly losing leaves, so it's going to lose this one soon. You can see it's yellowing. I've shown you this one, but this is an old back bulb. The new one rotted off due to sunburn. Perfect time to pot that one up. Got these two little ones, so I'm hopeful that the next growths will be significant in size. Nothing much happening on this one. Oh, this one's got a little growth forming there. So I do have this crazy one. This is Cycnoches heronhusanum, and it's an awkward growth to begin with. They're long, skinny growths, but look what it did to me. So this bloom spike actually got burnt in my famous sunburn incident, but started growing a new growth up here, and look, I stopped watering this one with the others. I haven't really done anything with this growth. I kind of left it just to see what it would do, but I'm actually going to remove it today because the last thing I want is for this growth to develop and me having to deal with that. That's just, I don't know, I don't even know what I would do with that, and I would really like to encourage it to start a new growth from the base. So I'll be removing that one today. FDK Desert Tenor. No new growths visible on this one, but it's growing and progressing nicely. So yeah, this is my Catasetum collection, and we are going to pot it up in various ways today, and some of them are going to be trialed in this PET method. I've even got these little containers, which I thought would work quite nicely for it, so I've popped a couple of holes in there. Just an old chocolate thing. Yeah, it's got a nice wide brim there. So yeah, I'll be back. I'm going to unpot these guys and remove some of the medium and see what the root systems look like, and we'll go from there. So here are all the catasetums unpotted. These are the ones from M&S Orchids here, and I think this one as well. I haven't taken out all the old medium just because you can see the roots have progressed down a little bit and I didn't want to damage anything too much. Interestingly, so it's been about 2 weeks since I got the haul. I've just been a bit busy, but this medium's still a little bit moist. It's got moisture in there still, and the old roots on these ones from M&S Orchids, ones that have been probably watered through their winter, are still firm. This one too, and this one's from M&S Orchids, and these are all firm. So I just found that interesting because all of mine, which were bone dry, are completely desiccated. All the roots are completely dead and desiccated. So yeah, I don't know what that means, but just an interesting find, I guess. But yeah, a lot of mine have little nubbins starting. Some of them are very small at the moment, and I'm not sure you can see that little tiny nubbin greening up and swelling there, so probably the new growth point, but it's hard to say 100% at the moment. You can see this is Cycnoches heron husanum, and I chopped off the little keiki that was growing there. Catasetum, I did chop off the leaves that were at the top there. This one already had some spider mite damage on its leaves, if you remember. However, I couldn't bring myself to cut these leaves off. Anyway, I'm going to pot most of these guys in sphagnum and perlite, maybe with a little bit of leca or small bark mixed in. But a couple of them I am going to try the PET method on, just a bit of a trial to see if it makes my life a bit easier in terms of watering through the growing seasons, but also to see if they respond well to that method. So yeah, just gonna have a little play around with the setup and see how they go. So I'll come back once these guys are all potted up. Okay everyone, well here they are, the repotted catasetums. That was quite the monster repotting effort. And you'll see that everyone is in their new homes, but no one is currently getting watered. All these pots have a little bit of Osmocote in it, which is a slow release fertilizer, and some dolomite granules. But I've got a little bit of a range of setups. They're similar, but I'm trialing different media. So the big pots, all those at the back, and these ones are in this trial PET method, and you'll see that they've got a bottom layer which will be the reservoir of inorganic media. These ones have leca, and I have put some rocks at the bottom of some of them just to keep the pots a bit more stable, because as the new growths grow they will become quite top heavy and I don't want them to tip over. The second layer here is a large bark, and I've got sphagnum. This one is actually a little mix of scoria rock and large bark, which is this new cat layer mix that I bought recently just to trial that media. But the ones back here all have, so this one's got a large mix of perlite, charcoal and bark as the middle layer. They've all got a little bit of bark at the top just to stop the sphagnum from getting a lot of algae growth on it. So you'll see all of them potted with the newest growths in the center. Some of them do have this season's growth starting. You'll see like this one doesn't have anything growing at the moment, so it's just got its biggest bulb in the center of the pot so it can do whatever it likes. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated about how these guys are going, and I suppose I'm crossing my fingers that I don't have too many issues with spider mites this season, but I mean, I really struggled with them last year. So I've got some spider mite treatments coming in the mail. I've got one systemic one and a spot treatment, which have really good reviews. So hopefully I have a bit more success this year in terms of pest control. So please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more orchid videos. I hope you guys have a great week and happy growing until I see you next time. Bye!